Okay, I'm gonna title this one. I'm gonna title this "Giving Credit," and I think a lot of us don't even think about this too much. It's something that's not really kind of like we just bypass, and we think that we originate things from ourselves, right? And now there is insight that can come into you from the creator. I've experienced it in very tiny bits. I've got to go way more into it. My ego doesn't want me to, simply because it knows it's the end of it completely. All right, but I know that has to happen more and more and more, because if it doesn't, it will be worse for me than anybody else. Ignorant people, people that don't know shit, don't want to know shit, don't know even what I'm talking about, or just laughing, will suffer less than someone like me that knows to a certain point, but still has to work a hell of a lot harder. So that's a responsibility that I have, and the people that have awareness, that have insight, know. I remember talking to someone years ago about some event that happened, and this guy was so inept, he nearly convinced me that he was right. That's how dangerous these people are. They're very dangerous, because it's all you got to do is look at things with your own eyes sometimes, and right? And that these people will go into, they'll put over like a fog over you. So stay away from these fucking people. They're dangerous, man. And they'll have you in a quarantine camp for the for or have you in a lunatic asylum for your own safety. It's the same thing day in, day out, really. That's what they've been using all the time. We have to kill you to take care of you. We have to put you in a mental asylum to take care of you. We have to do all these things because you're a danger to everything and everyone. Us sane people, right? So to segue back into giving credit, like I think it's important that we give credit to people that deserve it, and also acknowledge people that are on a way higher vantage point than ourselves, right? So I was just thinking of the Paul Enslaved show, and watching a bit of it, and pretty much every day I'll watch a bit of it, a good bit of it, if I can, even, because I find it hits the mark in so many areas, and it keeps you in check, because it's so easy to run off with your own egotistical system all the time, right? So, but it hits the nervous system straight away when you hear certain things. It just like vibrates through your psychic system, through your system, right? So, and giving credit. So I was just thinking there, and this is not completely true 100%, but it's like I wouldn't know anyone that was on that panel. That's what I'm on about giving credit. I wouldn't know anyone that was on that panel. Not that I know them personally, but like if it wasn't for Paul and his presentment and his way of putting himself aside to do what he needs to do for something that is not to do with this world. People don't seem to understand that in a lot of ways. They think just because we're in this world and we can see him through the screen, that he's working for the benefits of this world, which is not true. Anyone who can't see that is fooling themselves and very inept. All right, so giving credit. So like anyone that's on that panel, I wouldn't know any of them, none of them. That's not to say that some people wouldn't know them without Paul, because you're always going to get a small following, right, of people listening or whatever. I wouldn't be doing my videos if it wasn't for what he was doing. So it is a knock-on effect of something higher, right? Because Paul didn't come to me and say, "Oh, can you help me out?" I went to him. So giving credit is important to go like, well, that's why I don't understand the people that go on the panel there and are trying to pretend that they've originated something themselves. They couldn't get anywhere themselves in loads of ways. Even though some of their information is brilliant and some of them are really, really cool, but still they haven't got that presentation that he has got. They haven't got that where he can hit all these notes at the same time. He can touch your heart. He can touch your humorous funny bones, right? He can touch so many areas, just intense thought and, kind of like enable you to kind of like ponder on something intensively, and he has a way of keeping him in your own mind so you can keep on track with learning about the truth, learning about yourself, which is the same thing as the truth, learning about yourself. And, so we should give credit. We should give credit to people that deserve it, that are doing something that no one else is doing. I've scoured through the internet for years, looking at this, looking at that, for, just for education, not just entertainment, for education. And I've never came across anyone quite like that. And I don't think that we ever will in a long, long, long time. So giving credit is important. It humbles you down. It's not like, oh, I'm the originator of everything. No, like, I can see what he's doing. I can see what's happening there. If you can't, who's listening to this, nothing to do with me, right? But giving credit is a good thing. It humbles you, keeps you where you need to be, and keeps your ego at check of like, I'm brilliant. Most of us are not brilliant at all right? We're in our own way, and we have a self that we have to protect all the time, and that drains our energy, drains our battery, and makes us pretty much horrible to live with as well, because the ego has to be fed all the time, And so my hat's off to Paul, and it's important to give credit where credit is due. Adios.